Hey everybody, it's David Sirota. So a very tragic day in the life of America today. The worst mass shooting in modern American history occurred in Las Vegas. Everybody woke up to that news on Monday. And it's worth putting into some political context. Now, we don't know the motive of the shooter. We don't even know necessarily the exact type of weapon that was used in that terrible massacre. But it is worth noting the public policies that were enacted in the lead up to that massacre in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's worth noting specifically that top political figures from Nevada, of both parties, played a pivotal role in making sure that there were as few regulations on the purchase of guns as possible. Let me give you some examples. Nevada's longtime U.S. Senator Harry Reid, the Democratic leader in the Senate for many years, he played a leading role in blocking the reinstatement of the assault weapons ban, the ban that was put in place in 1994 under President Bill Clinton, but went expired in 2004 under President George W. Bush. There was a series of efforts to reinstate the assault weapons ban, and Harry Reid played a key role in blocking those initiatives. In fact, on Harry Reid's campaign website, that's still up on the web, there's a whole page of that website in which his campaign is bragging about his efforts to block a reinstatement of the assault weapons ban. In fact, there is a link to a letter from 2009 from the NRA to Nevada residents congratulating Harry Reid for playing a key role, using his position as the Democratic Senate leader to block a reinstatement of the assault weapons ban back when President Barack Obama was first elected in 2009. Later on, before Harry Reid resigned in 2016, in 2013, Harry Reid also once again played a pivotal role in tamping down Democratic support for reinstating the assault weapons ban. Reid also played a role in the effort to undermine city and county governments' efforts to regulate gun sales and guns in general at the local level. He signed an amicus brief that went to the Supreme Court in the case of Chicago's local weapons regulations. There was a series of court cases that were successful in essentially undermining local communities' ability to regulate and restrict gun ownership and gun licenses and the like. So Harry Reid, the Democratic leader, the longtime senator from Nevada, played a very important role in making sure that it has been as easy as possible for people to purchase all sorts of weapons, including assault weapons. Similarly, Nevada's Republican governor, Brian Sandoval, he played a role in the state in once again, making sure that it was as easy as possible to purchase these kinds of weapons. Sandoval recently signed legislation that gutted Las Vegas's local municipal gun regulations and also made it harder, if not nearly impossible, for cities and counties in Nevada to enact their own stricter gun laws than were on the books at the state level. He also vetoed legislation that would have mandated universal background checks. And prior to that, a Nevada council, a commission of officials of both parties, actually moved to prevent state lawmakers from even considering an assault weapons ban at the state level. So the point here is that both parties have played in their own ways, leaders of both parties have played in their own ways a role in making it as easy as possible to purchase all sorts of weapons, some military-style assault weapons, in the lead up to the Las Vegas massacre. Now again, I want to reiterate, it's not clear, there's no evidence that any of these bans would have prevented this specific individual situation. But the point is here that many major countries, most major nations, have a modicum of gun regulations on their books, and they don't have nearly at the level that we have, if any problem, with mass shootings. In the United States, we have an obvious problem of mass shootings where they're occurring at a very frequent level, shootings of 3 or 4 more people at a time. Those are occurring at a frankly, it's become a common occurrence at a time when, compared to other countries, the laws on our books make it very, very easy for people to buy all sorts of weapons. Handguns, semi-automatic weapons, the kind of weapons that can be pretty easily retrofitted to be turned into nearly automatic military-style weapons. Again, would it have stopped this specific shooting? Impossible to know. But clearly, we have a situation in which both political parties, the leaders, the power players in both political parties, have played a role, in some cases an aggressive role, in making sure that these guns are readily available. Now, I think it's safe to say that certainly when you look at the political spectrum, the Republicans have more rank-and-file members, lawmakers, who are more supportive of deregulating guns at a very aggressive level than the Democrats do. But again, when you look at a situation in which Nevada's longtime U.S. Senator Harry Reid, as just one example, played a role positioning himself against, in the case of 2009, against a Democratic president in preventing the potential reinstatement of the assault weapons ban. This is a transpartisan issue, a transpartisan situation where there are power players in both parties who are making sure that despite these mass shootings, guns remain readily available, all sorts of guns remain readily available to people all over the country with few, if any, restrictions.